G'day and welcome to the Ball Boys AFL Fantasy, and we are here to count down the final month of the AFL Fantasy calendar, walk you through how to win your fantasy matchups in the finals, and how about the Wang? Nazai Wangany Miller was pretty good too. Let's go! G'day and welcome again to the Ball Boys AFL Fantasy Podcast. I'm your host, Mitch Casey, and you can find me on Twitter at Ball Boys Fantasy, where I will be tweeting out Wang tweets every weekend. And joined with me,
fellow Wang enthusiast.
Luke Rogerson, mate. How are you?
I'm good. I needed that to get me up and about because, as you can quite easily see, we're checked out. I'm checked out. Mitch couldn't even get out of his pajamas.
Mate, it is cold in Brisbane right now. I know people don't believe us when we say that because we're in Brisbane and everyone else is in Melbourne or somewhere colder than here.
It's cold for us. It's all relative for us.
11 degrees, mate. That is icy, chill weather.
Freezing my proverbials off.
So I'm all rugged up, ready to go. It's late at night. It's later than we normally would. So we're gonna put on a brave face here, Luke, and give the people what they want. And what they want is for us talking about Wang.
Yeah.
Well, I know we're going to get there, but I want to just rip it off the start of the show.
For those listening to the non-video version of the pod, in honour of the Wang, I've actually got my Wang out right now. You can't see it because you're obviously listening, but that's what I'm doing. Wang's up. Throw your Wangs up.
Throw the Wangs up.
Throw your Wangs out. Throw your Wangs up. Bit of Wang everywhere.
Mate, what a last game of the round that was. That we just managed to catch the last sort of few minutes of that game. We were sort of out and had a housewarming and that, but we flicked over and noticed that Melbourne have dropped the ball, and those last couple of minutes, oh my God, Nazai, he is something else. But we'll get to that in a second. But how did you score on the weekend, Luke? Hopefully, some big scores around. Did you join in the party?
No, it was horrific. I lost in the first round of the finals for the Content Creators Cup as well. I was the only ball boy representing. We are now officially out. We cannot defend our title.
I know. Someone new will win the crown.
Yeah, there's always a phase in the season where I change my team name from the Ox Longs to the Ox Shorts. But I needed a further change. I've changed it to the Ox Shits. Because there's nothing else that can describe the way my team is looking at the moment. I'm somehow managing to make my team worse with every trade. I will not finish the year with a team of premiums.
Well, we'll get our violins out for you, Luke. But
I appreciate it.
You at least got to the finals, mate. I didn't even make the finals. So there's that. However, I'm storming home a little bit.
Okay.
I'm storming home a little bit. I am the 6th highest ranked coach of the Content Creators Cup by overall ranking, and I'm coming in hot to number 5.
Righto.
As well.
What's your overall ranking?
So my overall rank, I went up to 1,115. So at one point, I thought I might scrape into the top 1,000, but the last half of that final game, I just was sinking like a ship. But so 2,490. So nearly 2,500, which I think might be right up there with one of my biggest scores ever. I think everyone had some big rounds. So, look, pretty happy with that one. The Dacos captain was something very, very nice. It was a top 2,000 round 20 rank. So moved me up a couple of hundred spots. So goal is that top 1,000. And the further we get into that top 1,000, the happier I'll be. So hopefully 4 weeks to go. We can make it happen.
The more you call it foul, the better everything will be. Let's talk sponge.
Let's do it. Now, is that... Okay.
I can hear it, but that is not always a guarantee that you can hear it.
Yeah, well, hopefully, when we replay this, the sound was on in the thing there.
Okay, so maybe people can hear the sound grabs this week. There's always a technical problem on Ball Boys HQ here, but the problem is it's always a different problem.
Yeah, we've gone through every single technical difficulty known to humankind, and just as I've said that, something else will come up. But we never have the same issue twice.
No, we're plugging all these different holes.
Yeah.
I'm running out of things to plug holes with.
But okay, hopefully that one's all good. But the sponge of the week. Now you would think it would go to one NWM, but no.
I wanted to build to him, but you've ruined that.
No. But Jezza Cameron.
I mean, if you kick 11 goals, you have to be the
This
sponge.
is spongy. 11 goals.
Yeah,
enormous.
You could be excused for just cruising when your team's up 100, but he went and he said, you know what, I'm going to kick 11 goals.
I'm going to kick 11 goals.
He is one of these targets that you look at late in the season, especially for these matchups. Because
he did this late last year too.
This is the thing. He tends to beat up on these teams. He's got Essendon in a couple of weeks, and he has the Richmond Tigers to finish. So I suspect, I'm no prophet, but I suspect there'll be a few discussions about him in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, well, maybe now even potentially. I mean, he's going to shoot up in price. His break even is 42 now. So if you want that maybe 23rd premium, he might not be a bad shout because that's what the man can do. And he is as far as key forwards go, he is thirsty. He is very, very thirsty.
Definitely
what about on the opposite spectrum of thirst, the Camel of the week?
That's the first time I've closed my eyes when I'm pumping. And it felt good, actually.
Just embrace it.
I might go with that.
Give us the Camel of the week here, Luke, because it's more of a broad award this week.
It's a pretty generic Camel. It's big losses.
Yes.
Why were so many teams getting fucked up this weekend? And some getting fucked up after actually starting with huge leads. Sydney... Yeah. I'm referencing the battle for the bridge because Sydney got off to a hot start, even so much that the pop-up sprinkler Papley was getting a little bit of lip service going there.
Yeah, a bit of that at half-time.
And then Toby Green returned serve, which was good. You're just a lard. And then they just did the old switcheroonie and GWS won by almost 10 goals. Down. So big losses. If you watched Saturday footy this week, you were actually worse off for watching Saturday footy because there was not one good game of football on Saturday. Yeah,
it was pretty gross. And obviously there was the Richmond flogging. Now, it wasn't a big loss, but it was a big loss in the sense of the final quarter, the Melbourne game. We had Brisbane just get flogged by Gold Coast. There was a big flogging. Essendon got flogged by the Bulldogs. Yeah, there was not really many competitive games in this round at all, bar the last game of the round. So,
speaking of floggings, it's a great segue because let's talk Bogs and Flogs.
Flogs here.
You're an embarrassment, Mitch.
An embarrassment. Very much an embarrassment. Not even making the finals. I am embarrassed. Hawthorn versus Carlton. So we're going back all the way to Thursday night. Seems like an eternity ago now. Because this game wasn't super relevant, we don't really have many awards to give out.
No, I'm not giving out Bogs just willy-nilly because this was a boring fucking fantasy game. George Hewitt, I don't care if you went 116. I'm not giving out Bogs, but I will give out a flog, and that's Sam Doherty's third quarter. Because
kick a man when he's down.
Kick a man when he's retiring. Kick a man when he's 83 years old. I don't mind because I was sitting pretty being a trade outer.
Yes.
And then he said, I'm just going to give you one last doctor quarter in the third.
So you're giving him a flog for that reason?
Correct.
Because he was pretty bad.
Oh, I mean, it could have been worse.
It could have been worse.
And I was hoping for worse. This is a selfish show that we run here, Mitch.
Fair enough. So his last game of his career, 16 touches. Not bad enough for Luke. He wanted worse. So that equals a flog on this show. Let's go to the Essendon versus Western Bulldogs game. Bog on this one. Marcus Bontempelli. Massive game. Huge last quarter. There was a lot of massive quarters in this one, but I believe he had something like
62.
Oh, no, way bigger. 62 points in the last quarter because I had the VC on English, and I think he and Bont were kind of going similarly, and then that last quarter, Bont just went, hold my beer, you should have put the VC on me. But alas, I didn't need to put the VC on him.
Worked out well.
So, yes.
At the other end of the spectrum, Bailey Dale can have the flog here because in the previous matchup against Essendon earlier in the season, he went massive. He had that record-setting amount of touches. This time he just decided not to show up. So anyone who traded in hoping for a ceiling game was disappointed.
He is a roller coaster, that man. 69 this past weekend, 128 the week before, 60 the week before that, 59, 90. 87, 127, 112, 64. Like, it is all over the shop with him. So, yeah, not a ride that I would want to be part of.
Battle for the Bridge, we mentioned it before. I'm giving the bog to Toby Green for a couple of reasons. First being just a little bit of lip service for Tom Papley on the halftime.
And then following through with it, with the team effort, I think that's crucial.
Definitely crucial. I was going to say bog for Wack and Isaac Heaney or up around the chops, but I like Isaac Heaney. Why would I give him the bog for that? But Toby he doesn't die wondering. With anything.
He gets in, has a crack, and doesn't apologise.
Yeah, and he'll have a couple of weeks off, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think he at least one. Yeah, he'll at least have one off. But you've got the flog here for the Chad.
This is long overdue.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
There are a few players getting around at the Ox shits that are just the definition of mediocrity, and Chad is one of them. I can't get around what Chad's been doing.
No, he's 92% time on ground. He's out there. Coming off a 107 against North,
he's out there physically. He's not out there mentally.
Yeah, this guy, after years and years of consecutive 93s, I don't think he's going to reach that this season. I think, he and Sydney are just bad right now. So he gets the flog. Suns versus Lions.
I told you.
You did.
I told you. Trade
so
this
obviously
guy
you
in.
traded him in, right? Because
I couldn't afford him at the Ox shits.
Right.
I don't have two pennies to rub together. I cannot get Matt Rowell. He is flying. But
He is flying.
you could have got him, and I told you to.
I could have got him. I
And you
could have
didn't.
got him. And I chose not to. And he's got Richmond this week. He went up another 47K, and he is now one of the top 5 most expensive players in the game.
How good is the Cud Muncher? And you can drive by the flog here.
The flog in this game here is Zorko, because... And we recommended him as a trade-in, I think, to Timmy, who didn't take our advice, by the way.
Good.
So good work to him. Although I can't remember if he was asking for this week or next or this coming week. But he was awful. Now, I will say, the second half of this game, the weather was absolutely not to suit him.
No, but he tends to still find a little bit of it.
I'm a little worried about Zorko. I'm a little worried because there was talk about he had that foot scan, and he's just 1 million years old, and he just hasn't, since the start of the season when he was putting up a lot of big scores, just hasn't really been there recently. And, just a little worried about him. Hasn't gone over 110 since before his bye.
Yeah.
And only 2 times over 110 since round 11.
He's also not coming into an amazing 4-game stretch. It's not bad, but it's not what you might like.
Yeah. So
let's head out west for the Derby, Freo and the Eagles. So Hayden Young, it's only his second game back. He's still got subbed late in the fourth, but this guy kicked 3 goals. I think he won the medal in the end.
I was so disappointed to see he was subbed out because I saw that score. I think it was like 3/4 time or something like that. And I've gone, he's back. 57% TOG for 98 points.
It's impressive.
That is enormous.
We love seeing it.
He
scored 20 points in the fourth quarter, so he must have been out there for a little bit. But
yeah, I don't think it was long. I think he got that very quickly. He 57% TOG suggests that he was not out there for much of the fourth.
Oh, we love to see it. The flog in this one, not too much floggery, but Andy Brayshaw's time on ground was low, 75%. And I recall seeing that he might have spent close to the last sort of 10 minutes of the game on the bench, which was not impressive for us.
I feel like I remember them
owners.
doing this last time they played the Eagles as well.
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
Yeah, so that just, teams just go out there and get some stats. Come on, we want those hungry, greedy, stat-hungry pigs. Let's go to the next one, North versus Geelong.
North may as well not have been there.
No.
I've been playing with fire, not owning Baz for the last couple of weeks, and I got burnt.
You got burnt, yeah. And I was kicking myself a little bit. Like, why did I not just go VC Bailey Smith?
It's a great option.
Great option.
Free swing.
It honestly was a free swing. 132. He had... it could have been massive. It could have been way bigger. He had 43 touches... And it was one of those games where he had 2 tackles and 3 marks. That's not normally what he does. So this could have easily been a 160, 170. If he, filled the stat line just a little bit more, kicked a goal on that one as well. So yeah, huge game for him. And this was spongy behaviour in itself.
Caleb Daniel has been teasing one of these scores, and we've just been lucky I think, again, this is a matter of playing with fire and just getting by with Caleb Daniel. But he's been teasing one of these scores, and he finally did it to us. I think it was a 60.
60 points. 1 mark.
Yeah.
1 mark from the man who plays the easiest position in the game.
I didn't watch the game, but I'm going to guess the ball was down there a fair bit based on the scoreline.
Yeah, I would have to thought.
Perhaps it was just going over his.
Do you have his
head.
kicking numbers there? Actually, I'm gonna look that up.
It didn't seem like Geelong kicked any behinds. I haven't actually looked.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Good point. I'm going to look it up right now while we go on to the next one here, which is the Adelaide versus Port Adelaide game.
There's 18 kickouts there for you, Caleb.
18 kickouts. I'll see how many he had, but yeah. So the showdown. Who gets the best on ground in this one?
Zach Butters managed to be probably the best scoring fantasy relevant player. I'm giving the flog to my spicy take. Spicy takes are, of course, meant to be spicy, but when you tip that Port Adelaide will get the upset in the showdown and they get beaten by 100 points, the spicy take could not have gone worse.
It was the biggest loss in showdown history, I think. I remember seeing.
So
probably way off on that stat, but that's what I saw.
Turns out I needed something even spicier. So I'll take the flog. Zach Butters can have the bog.
Caleb Daniel, by the way, 7 kick-ins, played on 6 of them. Was second to Colby, who had 9 kick-ins, who played on 8. So he's still taking a large majority of the kick-ins right there with Colby. So there's a lot of kick-ins there for him. Sunday
afternoon at the MCG, Richmond taking on Collingwood. This is where you had everything crossed that Nick Dacos could pull you out of that VC hole.
Yeah, this was my wet dream before Wang on Sunday afternoon, because Nick Dacos had a point to prove in this game. He scored 146 points without laying a single tackle.
It's amazing.
Think about that. That is incredible. 31 kicks, kicked 3 goals. One of the most beautiful left foot snaps I've seen in a long time as well. Only 4 marks as well. Just racked up the pill. 42 touches, 3 goals. Was just on another level to everyone else on the field.
We were nervous watching because we thought surely Richmond will go and do something about this. And there were a couple of occasions where we thought, okay, maybe Ross has moved to him. But there was nothing really in the end.
Yeah, it was sort of like, why bother at this point? Sort of situation. And then Nick Dacos went, all right, you're not going to fucking tag me. I'm going to just pad these stats and keep going nuts. And he stayed out there. There was no Brayshaw resting situation going on there. Used their sub early, which we were not happy to see because it was an injury, but the risk of that rest was gone. So, yeah, massive good watch as a captain to bring home the Sunday.
The flog here is Timmy T. Not really. I mean, he can't help it. He had a calf injury, but how late do you want to make the
make
call?
the call, man. Make the call.
This is rough because
let us know.
People who have suffered through Timmy T's ordinary season were having a little purple patch, and then he's gone and fucked them. So. No good. Okay, the game we've all been waiting for. St Kilda and Melbourne. Paint me a word picture, Mitch.
Wang.
That was good. It's descriptive.
Yeah. Aroused.
Erect.
Yes, that's where I was going next.
Yeah, okay.
Large.
Just.
And forceful.
Yeah.
And.
This isn't a Wang one, but how clutch.
Dominant. Yeah.
Just.
Yeah. He, that was incredible. Like that final quarter, he had 2 40+ point quarters in this game. And like we called him D1 a while ago. He is just player 1. He's right up there. 113 average for the season. Yeah. Bailey Smith is there at 117. But if you sort by total points, I think Wayne obviously would have him because of the I'm going to have to look at that now because...
Three out of his last 4 games, 140+, one of those being a 150+.
Yeah, that's enormous. Yeah, so he has scored the most amount of points in totality this season of any player. No player scored more fantasy points this year than Wang.
I don't think you'll find 2 bigger Wang fans than us.
Oh, yeah. This guy, he is incredible. And I just love how he's thirsty. If he fucks up a kick, he doesn't give a shit. He'll get it back, try it again. And just constantly on the go. And love him. And look, he's got it this week, Luke.
And
the week after. And the week after that.
Oh my.
Oh my God, this guy is going to be averaging 115 by the end of the season. So yes, he is incredible and can't say too many more positive things about the Wang. Nazai is also pretty good. the flog, there is a lot of flogs in this game. We're going to start with the meltdown from Melbourne, because what the fuck were you doing? Oh. I know that Wang was incredible and all that sort of stuff, but that last goal especially could have easily been avoided.
I think as bad as it was from Melbourne, I think it was so smart from Rowell Marshall and Nasai Wang.
Good kick from him, yeah.
Yeah, I think the mentality there, and you could see it with the Melbourne players, the minute that they...
Just get back.
It was just get back. It's like, he's going to kick it long. They've only got 8 seconds. Like, he's going to... And they just thought, well, we only need a point. Let's lay up. That's effectively just a chip up to the front of the green.
Yeah.
And then Wang does the rest. So,
but
really,
it was,
really clever.
It was Cozzy Pickett. I've watched this replay a few times. Cozzy Pickett, backpedaling,
Daydreaming.
No urgency. I couldn't remember who it was. We'll see who it was clearly, but someone was on the far side of the circle guarding grass as a midfielder, inside midfielder, and he then took Gawn's spot and played man on the mark. Like, why? What are you doing on the mark? There's 8 seconds left. Go fucking find a body.
Yeah, I think on the market,
Are you worried about Ryan Marshall running?
It's probably a little harsh, because if you give him a free lane in, he's going to get a better kickoff. So I think you do have to man the mark. But you're right, they could have handled it better. The other thing that we'll drive by here is Ross Lyon's handling of Jack McRae at the end of the game, because he was on a decent score, and then Ross said, you maybe just put him up for a second.
Yeah, so he benched a few players, so it was
close to 12 minutes at the end of the game.
It was a long time.
I think maybe there was the ball getting caught on the far side for a little bit. Like, I only watched the last sort of 3 or 4 minutes, but I think there was a little bit of that going on, but still.
Yeah, well, there was a few different names going in there. So Windhager was in there for 77% of the time in the CBAs. Max Hall has been creeping up. He went 18% the week before, 33% this week. Wangani Miller is now essentially a pure inside midfielder. The other thing that he also did was put Jack Steele forward, who is the try winner of the Flog Award here for me. One, we got the early sort of whispers that, okay, he's had a shoulder injury, was named anyway. So I don't know whether this was because...
Thank goodness for those whispers, by the way.
Yeah, because I was trading him in and then I made the late change. So he plays 53% CBAs, which is by far his lowest, probably the last several years. And there's some talk about him doing well in the role. So first of all, don't do well in a forward role. People want to see Wang in there more, and but the shoulder injury, not announcing or no word from the club, and then the entire fourth quarter he exclusively plays as a forward. So obviously something there that Ross liked, and that was the quarter where they came back from a 46-point deficit. So yeah, if you're Jack Steele in your team, I would be concerned. Because those are all not good signs.
Okay, it is the time where we normally talk strategy, but I've just written here on the run sheet, how do I not continue to fuck my team up every week? I would love for you to give me some insights.
It's a good question. It's one we can delve into.
My team is getting worse. My team is getting worse. So if you're in my boat where you just are struggling to get rid of these fucking cancers that are clinging into your team, your Caleb Daniels, your Isaac Rankins, I've got Jack Martin sitting in my forward line pre-trades. What
this
just give up,
year,
delete team?
Well, look,
where is the delete team button? Because
I
was hunting around for it the other day.
We took it off yours. It's not there for you.
My account. It'll be in my account.
No, it's not there. Get out. Come on.
Oh, log out?
Log out. Yeah, no, just log out and log back in later. Anyway, no. Well, for your team, you're cooked. But for other teams out there, I think at this stage, it is almost more important who you're trading out than who you're trading in.
Contact us? Would I have to contact them?
No, just get off. Okay. Be a man of the people. Stop your sulking over there. It is more important almost who you're trading out than who you're trading in, because we want to avoid these pitfalls of Jack Steeles. We want to avoid these pitfalls of Caleb Daniel, of Jack Martin, who we told everyone to trade him out last week, Luke. You had a few injuries to deal with.
I had Doherty.
Yeah, you're right. But you want to be getting off these guys that potentially could really burn a hole in your pocket. And I think that's the priority, even more so than who you're trading in. Because there's not really many draws out there. There are maybe some ruckman, But there's not too many draws out there that have just an absolute green mile to finish the season. The Rucks do have a few where you've got 3 of the 4 games which are green, essentially. Max Gawn has 3 green runs and then a neutral. The inside midfielders, however, there's no one that's got a good run. St Kilda has 3 greens and then a red to finish the season. They're probably the closest thing to it. But no, everyone else has got at least a tough matchup coming up, at least for the end of the season. So that's why I'm saying prioritize the worst player in your side, trade them out to the best player you can afford, because we just don't want those guys that are absolutely going to lay an egg on your side. Because we've seen, even in sometimes in tough matchups, good players can pull one out of nowhere and have a good game. So like Jordan Dawson, for example, he had a bad matchup going into Port Adelaide. Despite how bad they are, they usually are still restrictive, but Dawson comes out and he puts up 106. You can live with 106 because he's just a good player. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about here. So the other thing you could also be doing, and this might not be you, Luke, but I am, and other coaches who maybe haven't already, will be considering a 23rd premium this week.
Yeah.
Namely because Tom McCarthy, he's up to 650k.
Yeah.
And we might have also, because we've had a few bullets to deal with, we haven't really cashed out some of these fattened rookies now. So players like
Johnson,
Archer May,
Liddy,
Johnson,
Ralston.
Liddy, Ralston, all these guys are sort of mid-high 400s, low 500,000s. You put those two kind of players, or one of those players with McCarthy, and you've got yourself a premium. It's a pretty easy upgrade to get, assuming McCarthy's on your bench.
Yeah. So we had this discussion.
So what do we do with that versus getting rid of like a Caleb Daniel or someone of that nature? Do you just get rid of Caleb Daniel, pocket a bunch of cash, maybe push that down the road? Because he's a bit of an obvious trade-out target, but could you just get McCarthy to a forward bench and roll the dice there?
Well, that kind of gets to my next point. We had this discussion a couple of weeks ago about where the 23rd premium would be best served, like what line it would be best on. And I think during that discussion, we kind of thought about the midfielders being that line that we favoured. But given that we've obviously got these guys, Rankin, Daniel, that could potentially lay an egg in the forward line, and we've also got guys like Jeremy Cameron that have a couple of good matchups. You know, Darcy obviously showed that he can do some good things this week just gone. Do you not get rid of Daniel, but essentially give yourself the opportunity to get rid of him for a week by trading in one of these guys on your bench?
Yeah, see, the thing with Caleb Daniel that makes me question that logic is that there's no upside. Like, there's no reason to hold on to him. Like, I don't ever feel like he hasn't turned up since round 3. Whereas if you have like a Sam Darcy there, there's always a risk that he puts up a poor score, but he's also got a ceiling on the other side of it. Even Rankin, he's basically a forward now, but I still think that he, on his day, can kick 5. You know what I mean? Like, he obviously did that a few weeks ago.
They won by 100 points. He scored 64.
Yeah, fuck, that's gross. But these guys are just, it's an obvious upgrade. So that's where, at the moment, right now, as I sit here on a Monday night, 9:30 at night, saying, I have the money to do a 23rd premium, and I'm probably just going to trade out Caleb Daniel, and next week just have ultimate flexibility on where I want to go.
Who are you going to?
At the moment, it's Matt Kennedy. It just as the safest, this guy's better than Caleb Daniel option. There's not really many options that I love.
There's going to be a lot of teams that I think have Kennedy, have Smith.
Like, are you going Luke Jackson?
No. I don't think so.
You're going Brian Myers, but he's got Port this week.
So
there's not much.
For you, I don't mind that. Like, I think Matt Kennedy is a guy that you hopefully, other than the egg that he laid a couple of weeks ago, I think you can rely on him to be a 100 guy.
Cozzy Pickett?
No.
He's got West Coast this week.
None of these guys make me feel good. So if you didn't, like, let's just hypothetical, say Kennedy wasn't on the table for you, already owned him or something. I think that would make you look at this week differently. I think you do something else.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I would look at, like, just bringing in a 23rd and go with Luke Jackson on the bench there. Maybe look to cover the ruck end forward line or I don't know. I actually don't know what I would do. Maybe it is a Grant. No, Port Adelaide. I don't love the
Colby. You wouldn't send Colby up?
It probably would be Darcy Cameron up in my instance. The plan was always to have him for 2 weeks. I was hoping Daniel wouldn't be as shit as he's been. But it just seems like the purpose of the 23rd premium is because when you trade out a premium, your luxury trades, right? You're luxury trading. When you trade out someone, there's just as likely that the guy you trade out is going to outscore the guy you trade in. I just don't see that with Caleb Daniel.
Yeah.
I'm not positive. I'm pretty certain that trading in Matt Kennedy is going to be a points upgrade this week. By doing the 23rd premium, I'm just maybe cutting some of my bench cover a little bit early and getting the same upgrade anyway, limiting my flexibility for next week. That's just sort of my point there. Or could you just completely ignore the forward line? There's no good options and get a 23rd premium midfielder and potentially protect yourself against some of the tags coming up. For example, Zach Merritt has Sydney this week. So he's someone that I'd be a little bit worried about. I'd love to throw him on my bench and put the emergency on him and have a guy come in and potentially back him up. Tom Green's been woeful. He's getting a 70 every second week. So is that a line that we can maybe look for the 23rd and just let our forward line rot?
I like your logic in your situation this week. I think Daniel to Kennedy, I feel like that's a safe points upgrade.
How much of a points upgrade is that? Like, obviously, Daniel scored a 60. I don't think he's going to do that most weeks, but
I think it's at least 20 points upgrade.
20 points. That's massively worth it, in my opinion.
I agree. The tough thing, even with these midfielders, is obviously there's always the talk of tags, and then sometimes they just don't eventuate. Like,
yeah, we're getting to the point of the season where some teams just don't care anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you probably look at Zach Merritt this week just scoring against the Bulldogs and think that's a reasonably tough matchup. 115, that's exactly what it is.
Because am I right in saying Sydney are now mathematically impossible for them to make finals?
Sydney are done.
They're done, right? So
yes, with that loss on the weekend,
are they gonna continue like doing the double tags and all this sort of stuff as hard as they've done for the season, or is this a time where they see what they've got in like a head-to-head sort of a situation? So these kind of things can flip on their head a little bit. Like if we went through the matchups, because the tagging I think will be one of the things at the end down the stretch of the season that will separate a lot of teams. So if we look at the matchups, Bulldogs versus Giants, are we seeing a tag in that game? Now, Bedford hadn't tagged for a little while, but he did do a job. Did he do a job on the weekend?
I didn't watch the...
Because I know he did one the week before when he hadn't been up until that point. So he could potentially go to someone like a Bontempelli.
I think you're more likely to see it in those teams that are competing for, spots 4 through 8.
Yeah, which that game is.
So, maybe, but I don't think Bedford's a good matchup for Bontempelli.
Adelaide Hawthorn?
I think Bont will just march him to the forward line. No.
No, I don't think there's anything there either. Melbourne versus West Coast, nothing.
No.
Gold Coast Richmond, nothing. Sydney versus Essendon, this is the obvious one where Jordan, I think, goes to Merritt.
I think so, but even sometimes during games, I think they're happy to kind of loosen that and just let Jordan play around or move him out and get someone else into the midfield as well. And like we said, there's not too much to play for there. So, look, I don't know. I like the idea of if you've got all the best forwards, maybe having another shot with some of the... It's because a lot of the big ceiling guys in terms of forwards that have easy matchups that we think could do what Jeremy Cameron did on the weekend, they're forwards.
Yeah.
So that's why I think we kind of gravitate towards that, because we're talking Jeremy Cameron, we're talking what can a Darcy do against a Richmond or something like that. I think that is probably what just kind of sticks in the back of our mind. But sometimes we forget that there's midfielders that are doing that every second week.
Yeah.
Like Wang's done it 3 out of the last 4. Bont's done it a couple of times in the last little bit. Guys like Dawson have that 140 ceiling on any given day as well, and they don't need goals to do it. So, yeah, you can get some ceiling scores there too, I guess. Yeah,
for sure. It's a tricky one to sort of concretely say this is going to be the better option, and every team will be a little bit different. But I do see it as this is the week as without as much carnage going on around and the price that some of these bench rookies have gotten, I think it'll be a very viable option for a lot of teams out there. Interesting to see where the competition goes.
I'm interested to sort of get your logic around the rucks at this stage, because you're obviously going Daniel to Kennedy, which you kind of think is a 20 points upgrade. I actually think going Darcy Cameron to a Grundy or a Gawn is a 20 points upgrade as well.
This is my issue this week. So I could do Cameron to Gawn, who is playing. Who are they playing? West Coast, and Gawn's got the 3 in a row greens.
Yeah.
Gawn had like a 125 on the weekend. Am I saying that?
Yeah.
So there's that. What's that? 26 points difference.
23. Yeah.
123 or 24 points difference on the weekend. So there's your 24 points. You might be able to captain him. So there's 48 points difference. So
Darcy Cameron has the Lions too. Not an easy matchup. And Matt Kennedy, who we're just talking about your team really now. But Kennedy has the Giants. So
Brisbane are orange team. They're not quite red, and he's got Hawthorn, which is green afterwards. But it is that question of,
you don't intend to.
Do you go for do you need the ceiling guys, like the top dogs, or do you want your worst guy to be good?
It's simply the points.
It is simply the points, and also I think captaincy has to come into play there as well. Like if you have for example, this past week, I didn't miss. I don't feel like I missed those big ruckmen because I had a Nick Dacos captain. I had a 140 plus captain. In fact, if I had Grundy, I probably would have taken his 130. Missed out on a few points there. But if I go into this week and maybe I'm not as confident, which, by the way, I'm not as confident this round, early doors. I mean, we got the Wang versus North, so I want a piece of that at some point. But the other options...
Break off a piece of that Wang.
The other options outside of the rucks, I think there'll be a lot of rucks in my top 5, put it that way. So that might be something that you might not want to put off another week if you're running one of those rucks which aren't Grundy or Gawn. Or Rowell Marshall, who has the Sherry-less North Melbourne Kangaroos this week. And his confidence will be up. No Heath. But yeah, I think it's a tough call for me to. I don't think many people will be in that situation. I don't think I talked many people into Darcy Cameron. But in an ideal world, I would be trading him out this week.
I think even though we talked about your team, the logic stands is what you said. Are you trading out the bottom guy in your team, or are you trading for those like massive ceiling guys? And that's a choice that people will have to make.
I think always consider that captaincy option, but otherwise, it is just like, what do you see the points difference? And remember, we're very short term focused. We're looking 1 or 2 weeks at this point because there is only 4 weeks left.
All right, you ready to go kung fu fighting?
Let's chop.
That's the best we've done in a couple of weeks.
Mate, we are in sync. All right. No, we're actually the ball boys. All right, chopping block. So, the top of the list here, Luke. Do you want to explain?
All the bad motherfuckers. Chop suey. Chop those guys.
It is a joke, obviously, but we've got no patience anymore, Luke.
Oh,
we can't be patient with these guys.
Bro, I got patience in my team. It's like a fucking infirmary.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, nice.
Just come on screen with you. Oh, just get over here.
I'm spreading out over here, Moody. But yes, you do have to be trading out the bad motherfuckers. At the top of the list here, Caleb Daniel, I still think is in a lot of sides. And he has overstayed his welcome. There's a chance he's dropped too. Like, genuinely. Why bother play him? What's he doing?
Don't tell me that.
Like, what is he doing for the Kangaroos right now? That
just getting in Colby's road.
Legit. He's literally an impediment right now.
I would rather Colby taking all the kick-ins. Yeah, don't tell me that, because
there's a month to go. Their season is obviously done.
I've got to trade Jack Martin. So just
Caleb Daniel being there, doing whatever he does.
Stop calling for his head, mate. Just
one mark. Like, I'm almost hoping that does happen. It makes my decision easier.
Horrific. This is horrific. So yeah, Caleb Daniel can go. Then you go into, what are you doing with Chera, Ned Long, these kind of guys that were serving a purpose, but in some teams have just found a way to live on like a fucking virus.
I think those midfielders have got to go. Clayton Oliver is infuriating because I traded him out finally, and he played a decent game. What did he end up on? He had 100, 98, just shy. But I swear every time I fucking looked up, he was there. He missed that goal that could have prevented the tie game at the end there. But he has West Coast. So does he live again? But I think Ned Long, if you still have Ned Long on your side, commiserations. But he is long overdue. Go on.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Yeah. Chera. Yeah, he's been underwhelming. He has to go. I mean, a lot of these guys have been on the trade block, but because of the carnage in recent weeks, you might still have them. All of those guys have got to go. Isaac Rankin, I think, is in the same belt. Like, that's been your core group of players that have had to go the last few weeks.
Yeah.
The new players I'm going to bring into that are your Darcy Camerons. I want to start the conversation on Tom Green. Because
before you do, because I'll want you to have some airtime on that, I just want to quickly... I think guys like Colby McKercher and Callum Mills, who still might be hiding in some people's defense, I think that they're
safe.
They're not as high priority trade out compared to Long and Chera.
Colby, I feel fine with Colby sitting on my team right now.
We said this. We answered a couple of questions of people in more luxurious positions that wanted to move Colby to a Zorko or Colby to a Whitford or whatever like that. And at the end of the day, like you have to see that as an upgrade. Logic suggests, but Colby in that role, untagged. If he can get Caleb Daniel out of his road, he's close enough at the moment that I think he falls a little bit further down the pecking order than some of those other guys.
Some players you might want to have traded him to. Zorko goes 55. Yeah. Lockie Ash goes 65 on the weekend. He outscores Connor Rosie, who goes 95. Bailey Dale was terrible. The only player that really, if you didn't have Lockie Whitfield, Josh Dacos, basically had the same score as him. Sinclair is one that I think he's going to have a good three game stretch. So he's someone I wouldn't mind having in my side. And Holmes had a good game, but had a great matchup. Port Adelaide this week, so much tougher. So
if Colby McKercher was the worst player in your team and you traded him to Jack Sinclair this week, I would be thumbing that up.
It's okay, but yeah, it's like, is that the best move you could do? I think it is an upgrade, but is it the best? But I think he's on par with your Holmes, Sheasel, Dacos, Zorko, Ash. I think he's on par with all those kind of guys, so I think that's fine. Tom Green.
Drive by him, if you will.
Well, the guy sucks, is what I'm driving by. He is now officially averaging less than 100 for the season, which I believe is what he was priced at the start of the year when we all said he was amazing value.
We all? No, mate, I've never been a Tom Green guy. This is you're preaching to the converted.
He must have been, again, I didn't watch it, but he must have been tagged on this game on the weekend because he had 16 touches.
This is the guy that's had the most touches in the league prior to this game.
And I think that Callahan is cutting his grass a fair bit.
Bit of Jim's mowing.
He doesn't rack up like he used to in terms of like the disposals. And we always knew that he was not a massive guy for your marks and tackles. You'd think he would be a better tackler. You think he would be. But he has far too many games where he has 3, 4, 2, 1 tackles. He's not had a single game this season with double-digit tackles.
Yeah, this game just gone was a pretty high tackle number for him. 6 is actually reasonably high.
That's the only reason it wasn't worse.
Yes.
16 touches is terrible.
He kicked a goal.
He kicked a goal. That is...
Oh, my.
Yeah, so I am worried about him. His average in the last 3 is 87. His average in the last 5 is 97. That is not top 8 numbers, Luke. And there has not been a captain's score in there.
No.
Once in round 15 against the Suns, but not even that great. Not a real captain score you're happy with since round 9, 133 against the Cats. And that is his only score over 130 for the season. Only 2 over 120. So he's not getting it done right now, and I think that there are much better options than a Tom Green. If you're in a really luxurious position, I'd be fine cutting bait with Tom Green.
Yeah.
I'd rather Noah Anderson. I'd rather Josh Dunkley. I'd rather Matt Rowell.
Speaking of cutting grass.
Yeah, go to the muncher. He'll munch grass. That's way better. He's someone that I think has probably escaped criticism for too long, and I've probably put blindfold over my eyes because I've been worried about other shit in my side, but he is not doing it.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. Anyone else you want to throw to the Wolves here?
Anyone else to throw to the Wolves?
Chad Warner.
Yeah.
the problem is forward lines are so fucking shit. It's like, who are you? If you're trading out Chad Warner, who are you going to go to?
Yeah, exactly. That's sort of the
Chad
point.
Warner, Christian Petrarca. Like, it's.
I mean, he had 70, but he had 107 the week before. He's got Essendon this week. He has West Coast in the last round. I'm probably not trading him out, but if you don't have him, there's not a rush to get him in.
No, but yeah, there is some just
Petrarca. Yeah, he's just been.
There's some stench coming off our forward lines at the moment.
Yeah, I think if Nick Martin was still there, it'd be a little bit of a different story. And if Horn Francis was back and running a bit better, like.
Who are your best 6 forwards at the moment? So Baz, Kennedy, Jackson, Myers. Where are you going next?
It's probably Sam Darcy next.
Yeah, I mean, on recent form, you're probably right. I'll throw McRae in there if he plays some decent
just
game
with
time.
the run, maybe.
Yes. Okay, McRae can. So
Warner and Petrarca.
You got 6 there.
Yeah, but yeah, it really falls off after this first 1 or 2.
It could be Jeremy Cameron over the.
It could be. It could be in the last few rounds. I think there's definitely room to get creative in that sort of a spot there.
Geelong. Let me just see as well. Geelong are going to be jostling for that top 4 position. Yeah, so Hawthorn, GWS, and Fremantle all on the same amount of points as them. So they've just got them. Well, they've got on percentage by a little bit, but obviously Geelong will be chasing down the lines in Adelaide. So it's all going to matter for Geelong coming to the end of the season, percentage-wise too. So there could be some bags there for Jezza.
Yeah, I'm also just looking up the Coleman medal, and Jeremy Cameron has quite the lead now. So he's up 21 goals, which we don't necessarily want, Luke. We want someone to be a bit closer than that. It's a bit realistic.
He could go for 100. What is it? 4 games left. 30 goals, 31 goals.
31, yeah. Could he go for 100?
Nah, he won't.
No,
but
he won't.
It'll be good. I mean, he's got Essendon, Richmond, Sydney, Port Adelaide, a bit tougher.
I mean, Sydney might be packing up shop, and Port. They don't
they
look very good on the weekend either.
They couldn't even get up for Kenny.
So yeah, there might be something maybe there. But as far as someone catching him, maybe not. But yeah, I think it's just getting rid of those shit players, as you eloquently put at the start.
Okay, who is on the radar? Who's in the scope?
Who's on the radar? Defense.
Yeah.
We kind of touched on it before, but Sinclair is a big old target for me.
I think so.
He's off the half-back line on his own now that Wang's gone up the field, and he is walking into a brilliant run of matchups. Do you want to read it out for me, or have you got it up there?
It's North, Richmond,
Essendon
is it in the next 3,
and then the Giants.
Yeah. I also think that Lockie Whitfield's not going to see a tag from here for the rest of the year.
He's probably the other big one. I think those two, who are also very cheap, are your number one targets for the defenders, and they could be midfielders either as well. Like, I would much rather Sinclair than I would Tom Green.
Yeah.
So those players could be in my midfield, and I'd feel absolutely fine about it. I think they probably average more than some of the midfielders in the quote unquote top 8 to finish the season.
Are you breaking the bank for Wang? Because I'm breaking the bank for Bailey Smith. I'm trading Jack.
I think you are now. Yep.
So I'm trading Jack Martin to Bailey Smith.
I'm officially at the point where I don't give a shit about price. Just get in the best guys. You have to. You can't go against a guy who's had 143 out of his last 4 games.
You can't, but the problem is how you get him there. So, like, let's say, for example,
he's going into North, Richmond, Essendon.
I agree. So I agree, but just let me, hear me out. So let's say the only way you can get to Wang is you trade Colby to Wang or something like that.
Yeah.
But then you're keeping Caleb Daniel.
So this is that question we talked about before about the captaincy. I think this is a situation where you can justifiably just let your forward line rot.
You'd keep Caleb Daniel to get
him.
Wang.
I mean, cross your fingers that he's not dropped.
Who does that apply to? Is it just Wang and Bailey Smith? Bailey Smith to me is, and I know I'm probably the only person that doesn't own him, but because of the line he's on,
it's the line.
He's going to outscore him by so much.
It's the run and it's the captaincy. I think those are the things. I mean, Wang is probably the top of the list.
So Wang, Baz, you got to break. Yeah,
he's the number 1 averaging player at the moment. He's got the best run in the game at the moment. He's on fire.
Yeah.
and he's highly owned, just hurting you. Everyone's going to captain him this week. It's
true.
It's hard to go against it. There's not other options you can really fight him with. Whereas in the ruck line, there's like 3 or 4 options.
Yeah.
You know,
Wang is just adding zeros.
Yes, he
contract.
definitely is. That's about it, I think, for the defenders. I know you've got Dane Zorko here.
That was from last week.
Oh, that was from last week.
Chop that off.
Yeah, chop that one off, because I don't think I'd be looking there. Would you be looking at any of the defenders really this week? I don't think I would. I think it's Wang, Whitfield, or Sinclair are your options if you want to bring in a defender.
Yep.
As for midfielders, let's have a serious discussion on Matty Rowell.
I had a serious discussion with you last week and you ignored me. So what do you want from me?
I admit I'm probably being a bit stubborn here. I'm officially, and fucking way too late, Mitch.
Yeah.
But I'm officially ready to say that this is a legit, just genuine breakout.
Revolutionary, mate.
Revolutionary.
You're all over this stuff.
This is probably a weakness in my game, is that I probably rely too much on the historical stuff.
Yeah.
And a little bit less ready to jump on a breakout per se. I mean, with that said, I've picked some breakouts in like a Brayshaw and stuff before. And
that's normally
been
those have normally been leading into the season. This one is harder to pick. So let me run you through the reason why I think this is slightly more difficult. Is firstly, nothing changes leading into the season.
Yeah, the role's the same.
But then he goes from round 4, he goes 74, 99, 88, 62, 63, 56, 99. It's dog shit.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But then here's another problem that I think happens. He has a big 130 against St Kilda. He then goes about 117. Okay, those are big games. But then he goes into 106, 106, 107, 103. What happens there, I reckon, is you look at 2 breakout games, think, oh, that's all right, and then you just kind of see these low tons.
Yeah, you just like,
and you go, okay,
he's
well,
a
like,
90s guy.
He can get a ton either side of his bye, and then suddenly that motherfucker don't stop.
Yeah.
Okay, 107, 103, 140, 118, 145, and now you've missed him.
Yeah, and he's way up in price, and yeah, so I mean, will be very unique. I don't think he's not very highly owned at all, but I think he's leading the clearances in the competition. And Gold Coast, remember, they've played 1 fewer game.
Yeah.
I think he might also be right up top there in tackles as well, with 1 fewer game. So he is someone that is like playing at the peak of his career at the moment. It is good. So his last 5 has been a 123 average. He's not going to keep that up. But can he be a 110 guy to close out the season? That's what we're asking him to be. I mean, he has Richmond in there. He has Carlton, Giants, Port Adelaide, which is the last round of the season. Port Adelaide, I don't know. It could be a beatdown.
Yeah, to me, he's a little interesting too, because if you had a look, the previous 3 games that he's played, if you had a looked at those, you would have gone, oh, it's not a great run.
No.
Collingwood, Adelaide, the Lions, and you just said he averaged 123.
How do you stop him too?
But I think he's actually more suited to that. So, like, if he came out and he just scored a flat ton this week or a high 90 against Richmond, that wouldn't shock me, just because the type of player he is. But again, it's Richmond, so it could be another huge score.
Yeah.
He's the real deal, but it's too much to pay now, isn't it?
Well, if I said I'm happy to pay out for Wang, I think I'm also happy to pay out for Rowell. If you're in that type of position, would he be the first? I mean, he'd be up there now. He'd be up there now with a lot of players that people don't have. I think Rowell could be a separator, especially at the top. Something about it just still, like I'm paying 1.1 mil for Matthew Rowell, who's never done it before. He's always been an inside player. Like, is he getting marks now? Like, is there something, or is he just taking everything he's done just to an absolute another level? Really, that is what it is. Like, he had 4 marks this game, 2 marks the other game. He had a 140 with 1 mark. He's just doing what he's already been good at, but just even better, really. So I just sometimes question whether or not that can sustain, but it is. So I think he's a target. He is a target if you have the money. Josh Dunkley, is he a target, or have we missed the boat a little bit?
You're still saving 80k between Rowell and Dunkley, and maybe I, like you, am a bit of a sucker for the seen it, done it before. over the last 3, Dunkley's averaging just as much, I would say. Maybe not quite as much. Might be
127 last 3. I mean, Rowell's had the 2 140s, 134. So a little bit less, but yeah.
I'd be tempted to save myself 80k, to be perfectly honest.
And that's where I went on the weekend. I went to Dunkley instead of the Steele. I pivoted to there. He is just tackling the house down.
Yeah.
4 out of his last 5 double-digit tackles.
Well, it's once he got a job at Champion Data, it seemed to tick up. I think
that is all time.
I think there's a conflict of interest there.
Yeah, that is all time. But he's a funny one as well because he has had periods this season and last season where he just goes missing for time. So it wouldn't shock me if he does that again. His run, I'd probably say, is harder than Rowell's.
Doesn't have Richmond in there.
The matchups are probably not as nice.
Brisbane have got a lot to play for in the next little bit as well. So
they do.
You know,
I mean, they just got pumped, so...
Yeah. I mean, he's always out there doing his thing. But, they've got a bit to play for. They're in that unique position where they had the draw, didn't they, with North Melbourne, was it, earlier in the year? That rings a bell.
Draw with North Melbourne? Did they really?
I'll check that. But they're on 54. What's North on? North will be on a... Yeah, I think it was with North Melbourne.
Yeah, right, okay.
So they've got a little bit of a distinguisher there, but they're going to still want to be hunting for that top 2 spot. So... Yeah, I think I'll go Dunkley over Rowell. No, I said Rowell. But remember, my testicles are up there on the chip rock. They're dripping.
That's not good. Go see
they're
someone
getting
about
green up there. We need to sort that out. But if I was actually being a little bit, maybe
you just calm down a little bit.
Just calm down, woo up a little bit. Maybe I'm thinking Dunkley. Is there anyone else in that midfield that you are targeting?
What are we thinking about Dawson? Because Dawson is someone that halfway through the year I said he's going to be another level to everyone. And he kind of has just been The last 5, he's averaging, what is he averaging? 104. Like, he's got West Coast around 22 and North in round 24. He's got Collingwood in round 23, which I've always thought has been a pretty good matchup for him. What is Dawson... still right up in that mix with the big dogs there?
I think there's likely better trade-in options. I'm going to say there'll be teams that, already have all those other guys that we talked about. But like if you're saying, okay, well, Dawson's a captain option in 2 weeks' time when he has, did you say West Coast?
Yeah, West Coast and North, I think.
Well, Wang has Richmond, so don't worry about it. And then in the last round, I think, who did we say had Richmond in the last round? We were just talking about them. I can't recall. So, look, I don't see myself taking a Jordan Dawson captaincy over the next 4 weeks. So by that logic, I wouldn't trade him in.
Can I throw you a real loopy one?
No.
Fiorini.
Yeah.
Brayden Fiorini. No. Have you seen what he's done?
Yeah, but no.
126 last week, 101 the week before, 97 the week before, 100 the week before, 98 the week before that. And he's going into Richmond. He's 908,000. I would never do it, personally. But if you're like Luke and are playing for nothing...
just fuck your team up. Just fuck your team up. Who cares?
It'd be kind of fun to watch the passer run around against Richmond.
It wouldn't be fun.
If that got someone really shit off your ground, I wouldn't do it. I know. I think I've seen some talk from the traders that Roy might be doing it. I'll believe it when I see it, Roy. But I don't think I would have the cojones to do that sort of a trade. Last thing I want to talk about with the midfield. How concerned are we with Jack Steele? Is he a trade out target after being someone who was very excited to trade in last week? With the shoulder thing and then the forward thing. Yeah,
I genuinely think he is.
Like 46, that is beyond a That's beyond a he just had a bad game, Connor. That's big concern. He kicked a goal.
It is. It's so and I'm not all over this, but the fact that he was killing it, like he was a trade in target 3 weeks, absolutely on fire. Did something happen? Did something happen late in the Geelong game? Was it a training thing? Like,
all I saw was the tweet from Goat Fantasy saying that he was apparently named despite a shoulder concern. That's all I know about it. And
the trouble I'd have if I owned him is you look at the next 3 games, North Melbourne, Richmond, and Essendon, and you think if somehow, some way, he can sort that shoulder out, then he's got the best run for midfielders that there is. I also think that, like you said, that there's an issue with the fact that Wang's in there, Windhager's playing some time through there, so there's enough. I think they have enough bodies that.
Yeah, I think it's a little different than years gone by.
I'd expect them to go 3-0 on this next 3-game stretch.
This time of year, I don't want to fuck around with maybe injuries, maybe not injuries. I'd rather trade him out and he put up a decent score than not trade him out and he burns me again after he just put up a 46 on my side as I'm going down to the last month of the season. I don't get killed by what you know. And what you know is that is an unacceptable score and that he had a shoulder injury, played forward. I don't want to see that continue. So I think he is a pretty urgent trade out for that reason. And unfortunate if you missed the news and traded him in last week, because it was something I was heavily considering until I saw that. So, All
right, let's quickly talk rucks and then we'll gloss over the forward line. But you think that you can make a case for not having Max Gawn or Brodie Grundy this week?
Rowan Marshall is the interesting one. Heath was out. And Rowan Marshall goes into a run of games where he versus a Sherryless North, Richmond, Essendon, and then GWS in the final round of the season, who are a green matchup for rucks as well. That is the easiest run for rucks in the AFL right now. And it's that and Melbourne, basically. Melbourne has it's not close.
No,
it's not close because North is red on this scale, but they're not red because there's no Tristan Sherry.
No, and Gawn and Marshall are exactly the same price right now. So if you're making the choice, then I think that run suggests that it's Marshall. And the fact that we've seen a week now without Heath to go, okay, well, and why would they now bring Heathy back in when
you've had an amazing all-time win
and the run,
and Marshall was one of the pivotal reasons, like that kick to Wang was
at the end there, but it's not like he's going to need help this week, or next week.
So the thing that maybe people will you'll look at his previous scores and you'll go, he went 88, he went 104, he went 70.
Yeah. Now,
2 of those games was with Heath there. 1 was against Max Gawn. Look at the 4 games before that. 140, 119, 105, 129.
Yeah.
That's the real Rowan Marshall. So I'm taking that 4-game sample size, or let's make it 5 if you want to include the Melbourne game with a tough matchup. That's really what I expect from him. And now put plus 15 on it because of the run he's going to come up against. And I think that's what you're going to expect. I think if you're trying to get into the top 100 and you're maybe a bit outside, a Rowan Marshall is the type of player where I don't normally like chasing unique, but this is a guy that could drop a 170 this week, and could be a real big difference maker for people that don't have him, or if you do have him and you're making up ground. It's tough because those other options do have good matchups. Like Grundy this week has Essendon. He goes 120s, 130s every week. Gawn has West Coast. He's coming off a 123. The last time he versed West Coast, he went 160 essentially. So it's like a 4-week play, not a 1-week play, but it is a move that if you want to differentiate yourself, you probably could do it there.
I like it from that perspective of nothing to lose. You're ranked at 160, 170, something like that.
If I was in the top 50, I'm not sure I'd do it. Maybe if I was and I don't know Holmes' exact position, but he's in 15th right now. Now, if he's pretty confident that he's going to win a hat from that position, but still wants to take a swing and try and go for the car, then that might be a move I might do. Because it's like, what's a number 15 hat versus a number 70 hat?
If you can get the lux.
And that's the move that could do it. So that's something that I might have a look at if I was in those situations, or if I was sort of 180th or something like that, and I needed to make a bit of a Hail Mary with a bit of assurance of a good player. But that's the rucks. Forward line.
Horrific.
You got to have Bailey Smith. You probably have to have Kennedy. Is he the next guy?
Yeah, it's like...
I got some news as well that I think that 30 he put up, he was sick. I think I saw that somewhere, that he was playing sick that game.
I hope he was deathly ill. The thing is, you say you must have Kennedy only because the other options are so bad.
Yeah.
It's not like you must have him because he's going to...
He's the next guy we're most confident in.
Yeah.
Right?
So I think that if we were to order them, we kind of order them before. So Smith, Kennedy, then...
It's Smith, Daylight, and then Daylight's cousin, and then Daylight's second uncle, and then it's Kennedy.
And then there's a little bit of daylight between then him and like Luke Jackson, Brian Myers.
McRae, Daylight again.
Yeah.
Warner Petrarca,
so
Darcy.
I think if you're looking at moves in the forward line this week, you just ask yourself, who am I trading out? Who am I trading in?
Yeah.
What do I anticipate that they're going to score? What's my upside? You know, we got to maximise the points we get on field.
Yeah. Is there a big matchup this week that a forward might dominate in? I mean, so Chad Warner's got Essendon. Petrarca's got West Coast. Oh, come on, guys. Surely.
I mean, we've said that, haven't we?
Freo's got Carlton, so that's not a great matchup for Luke Jackson. No. And actually, I want to have a look at the CBAs for Luke Jackson, with Young getting a little bit more time. So Luke Jackson had 59, so same as Luke before. The player who took the hit was Shea on the weekend, who went down 7%. And Wagner was not there either, but he was basically replaced by Neil Erasmus. So not too much different there.
Yeah, Grimoire's got Port. Flip a coin in the forward line.
Yeah, it's probably if I didn't have Kennedy, I'd be looking there. Otherwise, I don't know if I'd chase many targets. Don't think I'd break the bank to get those guys in and maybe look at my trades in other positions. No, I do it, mate.
That's good, mate. We saved our longest Monday podcast for the one that we were going to record at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
That was a win.
That's a win. Bonus content for everybody. We only have 1 month left on the season, guys, and my goal to finish out the season is we need to get to 4,000 subscribers. We have... What do we have? 40, I saw this the other day. We have 41 people who are not subscribed. Where are we at? Yeah, sorry, 51 people away from 4,000 subscribers. There has to be 51 people out there who are watching or listening to this podcast. And if you're listening on audio and have never watched us over on YouTube, that's okay. You don't have to. Just go over to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, thumb it up while you're there, and then just go back to the podcast. That's what we are asking of you guys the final run of the season. 51 of you. Please go over and subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, love it.
Love it. All right. Make sure you guys subscribe like we just said. We'll see you guys on Friday, or go to patreon.com/BallBoys and see you on Wednesday. Until then, Wang's up. Bye.